Hello friends and welcome into the Cowboys Report presented by BetDSI, the internet's #1 sportsbook. Post-game grades edition. Cowboys and the Eagles. The Dallas Cowboys go on the road on Sunday Night Football, rebound from a clunker against Tennessee Titans, and take down Philadelphia on the road on Sunday night. So we'll go through our grades here. First up, the offense. I was pretty pleased. I'll give them a B+ in this one. Not quite an A. Still some kinks to be worked out, but if you put up 27 points on the road against a solid defense in Philadelphia, you got to come away happy, right? 441 total yards. Dak Prescott, in all honesty, I thought had his best game of the year, although I will reserve my right to review the game later on the All-22 tape. Zeke was right on the ground. They were good on third downs, and most importantly, they kept control of the clock. They led the time of possession. It's been a big flaw in their games as of late, but this week it worked much better. All right, defense. I actually thought the offense led the way. Now, the defense did hold them to 20 points, but I'll give them a B-. Some very critical third and fourth down stops. They did let Wentz throw for quite a few yards through the air, but overall, I think you got to be pleased with this defense. Not quite perfect. Too many yards through the air. Not enough sacks overall, but the defense did its job. I'll give them a B-. If you want to argue for an outright B or even a B+, I think I can live with that one as well. Special teams, meanwhile, that one's not looking quite as good right now for the Dallas Cowboys. Not a disaster, but not quite ideal either. I will give them a C-. Brett Maher hasn't been as money as he's been in recent weeks. He's struggled the past really 3 weeks or so in terms of actual games, has missed some kicks. Cole Beasley, by the way, really not that good on punt returns, not producing much. He's a hands guy, dancing too much, not going north and south. Jordan Lewis has had no chance to even return a kick so far. At least the snapping has been fine. So I'll give it a C-. Not a disaster, but I think it's average at best right now. How about Dak Prescott? We mentioned him earlier. Look, I was happy with the way Dak Prescott played. Yeah, there were some lucky breaks. There was the trying to throw it deep and he fumbles the ball, bounces back in his hands, able to throw it away. I'll give Dak a B+. I know that not everyone likes Dak Prescott. I understand why. There are reasons to be concerned. Even in this game, he shows you reasons why you should be worried. But in the end, have we seen Dak play a better game this year? I don't think so. 26 of 36, 270 through the air, 1 touchdown, +1 on the ground, made a lot of key plays down the stretch, and there are still flaws for Dak Prescott. He still made mistakes in this game. He still looks skittish in the pocket at times, but overall, I think you got to be pretty happy about Dak Prescott. Even if you don't fully believe in him, I understand why, but you got to like what you saw tonight, a B+ for Dak Prescott. My MVP of the game, how about Zeke Elliott? That is an A+ for me. You got to love what you saw from Zeke. Week in and week out, the past, really since the Jags game, even some of the games before that, Zeke was not playing all that well. But this week, this was a Zeke game. 19 carries, 151 on the ground, 6 receptions, 36 yards through the air. You gave him the ball 25 times. He put up almost 200 yards in total, over 180 in this one, almost 190. He was great. You got to feed Zeke, right? Now, the Cowboys didn't always feed Zeke, a decent amount of Rod Smith, but you will take that production every single week for Zeke Elliott. Beyond the Lions game, when he just had a ridiculous amount of touches, this was easily Zeke's best game of the season. That is what the Cowboys need. That is the offense they need to have. Speaking of offense, how about Amari Cooper? He was great. I'll give him a B+. No touchdown that keeps it from being an A. If you want to argue an A-, that's fine. But Amari Cooper, he gets open. That is the Cowboys receiver that they have been searching for frankly, years now, even with Des Bryant. They wanted an Amari Cooper type. 6 catches, 75 yards, has been consistent. I told you guys in our Cowboys film study, Derek Carr was holding back Amari Cooper. I think you all agree with me now, right? Great game from Amari Cooper. 6 catches, 75 yards. I give him a B+. I'm not even going to argue all that much about an A if you want to go that route. You have got to like what you've seen on the field, ignoring what the trade that what you gave up to get him, what you've seen so far from Amari Cooper. Then my defensive MVP, Leighton Vander Esch, folks. had himself a game. That is an A+ for me. That is, I think, I want to go back and watch. I'll reserve my right again. But that is the best game I've seen Leighton Vander Esch play this season. 13 tackles. The critical tackle for loss, by the way, that came on 3rd and 2 at the 2-minute warning. Blows up a screen for a loss of 5. An interception as well that led to a field goal. Leighton Vander Esch. Look, I didn't love the pick necessarily. I'll take the L. I gave it like a C or a C+ in our draft grades because I thought he would take more time to develop and I wanted to trade down. Leighton Vander Esch, as inexperienced as he was, doesn't look like it. He is making play after play, and I am saying this, the reality is you really don't even need Sean Lee anymore. Leighton Vander Esch and Jalen Smith, name me a better young linebacker duo in the NFL right now. Maybe you can go pick a Jaguars, Miles Jack and Telvin Smith. But in terms of guys on their first contracts, Leighton Vander Esch and Jalen Smith, that's your duo. As long as those two guys are healthy, they're going to keep making plays, and I can't wait for Sean Lee to be the Cowboys linebackers coach. An easy A+ for me. Hats off, LVE. You balled out. All right, coaching staff time. Scott Linehan. Now, Linehan, look, they won. He'll get a B. But he's still Scott Linehan. And I think it was Bobby Bell who tweeted out the gif from Monty Python when they're rounding up the dead and they got the guy who's not totally dead. That's Scott Linehan. He keeps surviving somehow. And this was a game where if the Cowboys had lost, I think you might have seen Linehan fired. But after that effort, and frankly, look, it was a good one. I don't think they will now. Now, I am still pro-firing Scott Linehan because guess what? Next week, they'll lay a clunker. Maybe it's the week after that. Either way, there will be another clunker. But I'm typing in FS because even though it was better, there were still the what are you doing Linehan moments. The screen to Jordan Lewis, which I guess was a check down, but still, why even run that play? You pull Zeke off the field in the red zone. I know he just rushed for a big play, but he had the big hurdle and the huge gain, and they ran 3 plays inside the 10, and Zeke didn't touch the ball. You overthink yourself sometimes, Linehan. Overall, a much better showing. The production and the effectiveness and the execution was much better, but we'll give Linehan a B. Not perfect, but look, it was much better. And Jason Garrett, look, I know some of you guys want Garrett gone. I do too, but that's an A. I can want Garrett gone and be understandable enough to recognize that he did a good job today. He went on the road in a must-win game against I think it's a good team, maybe not, but I think they're a good team, and they figured out a way to win the game. They got the W. They stepped up in a must-win situation. They were prepared. They executed well. They battled the adversity that's given them so much problems this year. They adjusted enough in the second half. That is an A coaching job by Jason Garrett. I still want him gone, but that was a good job by Garrett to get the W. Now, today's show is brought to you by BetDSI. Go to chatsports.com/bet. Use promo code Cowboys120 for a 120% deposit bonus. What that means is, put down $100, they'll give you $120 for free for a grand total of $220 to bet with on BetDSI. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code Cowboys120. You're playing with house money. Now, one last question for you guys. Was this game better or worse to win? Now, last year in Week 17, producer Brett didn't really agree with me necessarily. I said tank. Tank in Week 17, get a better draft pick. And if you guys want Jason Garrett gone, honestly, you should have lost the game. Because this win gives the Cowboys hope. It says, hey, we can still do this. It'll buy Linehan and buy Garrett more time. Extends their lifespan, so to speak. It's like when your dog is getting old, and I've been through this. Your dog is getting old, and at a certain point, it's just time to put her down. But she had a good day today. You know, she was happy. She was able to run without any hip problems. But at a certain point, still might need to put down that dog. That's kind of what Jason Garrett is right now. He's an older puppy that just needs to be sent out to a nice farm up north. So, folks, we are almost at the 5K subscriber mark. We are right on the verge of it. Thank you to everyone who has already subscribed. All of our great Cowboys coverage is up on our youtube.com/Dallas Cowboys Report. exclusive stuff too, like film studies. The highlights from this game are also up there right now, so go subscribe, folks, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for next Cowboys Report.